All right, here we go. I'm going to kind of play this backwards. So this was after the run, this first make. And so what I'm going to show is on the 5-minute candle, that's the Fibonacci's right there. At the very top is the 38.2. So what I did was I took a short from the 38.2 and then wanted to play it down to the 50%. That's my typical run. So there's the high and the low, 0 to 100%. And then those are my targets, the 50, 61.8 or the 78.6. So I typically will get out at the 50%. Okay. So what I'm going to show here is how I actually played it, which I did a very crappy job on the way I played it, honestly. It was not a very good execution. Even though I've done this trade so many times, it just goes to show you that, hey, sometimes crap happens. You get a little nervous or whatever. I don't know. You know, even though I think I'm focused and I think I'm ready to go and I have a game plan, you know, it still doesn't work out perfectly every time. So anyway, so there's my typical target, 50, 61, 8. So this run up was Tuesday morning, right? And right after, 9:50, 9 something like that, 9:39, we hit the top. So now we're counting down. We're coming down. We're going to test and break the low. Trying to watch to see where this video is going to actually end. But at any rate, I can't speed it up and I can't slow it down. So you just got to go with it. So anyway, there's the move. I'm actually going to take the retest, or at least I think I am, the retest back up. I got a little FOMO there, jumped in. Look, I screwed this trade up. Uh, decided that I just get out, right? Just better to get out, take my loss. I don't remember what the exact loss was, 40 bucks or something, 60 bucks, 100 bucks. Um, and then I said, look, dude, take the opening range. What the hell? I'm looking at the 1 minute chart thinking, oh, there was a retest. Oh, what am I doing? And then I jump in here. And there was a good jump in. So right there, I mean, I should have been up. I should have been up even higher than that. See, real quick, I moved out of the way. Good thing I did. Then I started thinking, man, this thing could just tank on down. So move out of the way again. So some guy, Pluto, he had a sell there. I said, no, we're going to come down to fib support. And that's actually where we ended up. And we bounced from there. It pretty much went sideways for a lot part of the day until the end. But that was just the ending right there. It was up 2,900 bucks. It was like, okay, not a bad day. You know, there we go. We're MrFib support. That's where I had us at support. Uh, so not too bad. So I'm going to zoom across, see if I can speed it up, and I don't think I can. I think I just got to wait. So this was again the end of the trade. I did take a little long at the very open, but I was down 2K I think before I took this trade. We'll see if it shows up. I wish I could speed this up. There we go. Okay, so I think it was 650 roughly. I think I got in at 648, somewhere in there. But so here we are moving up, and I'm watching the fibs on another chart. And so we got up to 45. I know some people I know jumped in, but I think 50, 48 or 50 was the correct entry. That was the 38.2 of the 5 minute. So here we go. I tried to cut as much of the video off as I could, but apparently I didn't cut enough off. But we're only in 4.5 minutes right now, and we're just about done. Well, actually, we're halfway. So there's my sell at 52. And because I think that was the 38.2. Now, we didn't actually, we hit it, but I don't think I got a fill, so I had to drop down and take it at like 48 or something. Still wasn't bad play, right? I mean, 4 points off the top. It was a good entry. And then I was looking for like 615 area. I kept thinking, okay, 615, and that would have been a decent 35, 38 point run. That would have been okay. 4 or 5 accounts running. But sometimes you got to be patient. You got to wait for that. Okay, so there we go. So I didn't get tagged. I wasn't too happy about that. So I finally had to reach down and grab it right there. And what did I get? At 49.75. Our high was 52.50. Not too bad. So normally I take and I put target one at the 0 line of the 5 minutes. So whatever the 5-minute previous candle was, the top. So, but I hadn't played this play. It hadn't worked in a while. So it's not a perfect one. A lot of times I like to take 3 contracts instead of 2. And you can see I'm kind of watching it pretty hesitant because we only had like a 6-point stop, right? So the risk reward was fantastic on it. Whenever you can get like a 6-point stop and potential 40-point move, that's not bad. I think we'll take that every day. So it's too bad I couldn't show you the fibs. If I did replay, I could, but a lot of people say, "Oh, you can't. That's fake," and da da da. So it's like, all right, whatever. Anyway, I was down 2K to start with. I don't know if that showed it, 1900, something like that. So anyway, I got nervous and said, well, let me take one off and really reduce my risk down, and I'll just play the one. So you can see there, I'm down 2K. And I'm like, hey, what the heck, right? So here we are, 10 seconds left. And we're playing it. I mean, talk about catching the high, knowing what I know now. Again, it just takes time. Right? You got to have patience. I start losing mine. Now I start to get, okay, now I can start to see the move. And again, I'm thinking 615, but then I drop it down a little bit lower, and that's where I should have stayed. I should have stayed at the 61.8. I was taught this play, I don't know, a couple years ago. And I'd play it, because it's a fib, so I like the fibs. And then I forget about it. I start doing other things, start running other plays, and start developing. I developed a lot of indicators and strategies. This is my newest one, TCS, and it has not taken the trade yet. It's ready to. It actually only took one trade today, so it's a little unusual. For 10 points until 11 a.m. After 11 to 2, I think it took another 3 trades and ended up with over 130 points. It went 5 or 6-0. I can't remember exactly, but it was a pretty nice run today. So anyway, triple cross system, that's what it is. I've got a new one that I'm really excited about, and in fact, more excited than the triple cross. So that one I'm real excited about. It's working really well. I'll start debuting that one probably in a couple more weeks. I'm hoping by mid-August, and I'll actually put that one for sale. So you can see in the left-hand side, TCS cumulative total or points, and I think it's up over close to 700 points, 697 in the last since June 15th. Not great. Let's see, July has not been a great month. It's only up around 400 points, 392. So yeah. Anyway, so here's the move. Now we're starting to get some movement down. This is where I start to get a little excited. This is where I wish I had 3 contracts, right? That's my typical. I'll take one off at zero. Zero line are the 5-minute, previous 5-minute close, or previous 5-minute wick, whatever that is. And then I take one off at 50%, and then I take one, then I'll keep a floater or a runner. And I didn't do that this time. You know, I got scared of my second one. I only took 2, got scared of my second. Just not doing this trade enough. That's all it is. I used to practice this trade. I'll practice it this weekend just because it's a good trade. It's a good solid play. When it works fantastic. I mean, here we're up 25 points from entry. And as we know how today went, I mean, today just tanked down, you know, from that entry, 300 points or something, close to it. I don't know what the final number was. Oh, here you go. Down to 420, 23,420. So 23,420, so 220 points. So not too bad. Would have been good to stay in that and just to keep a runner. But yeah, runners are only good for so long. Right, at some point it's gonna come back on you and you're gonna want to capture what you can capture. So anyway, came down to 615, pretty close to it. Kind of wish I was there, sitting there. I could have taken a little more money. There you go. I mean, I ended up with 2,800 on the day, so it's not too bad. I mean, I'm not complaining. Just my execution, right? I go back and I look at this, and I'm looking at my execution, and I'm obviously I'm not happy about it. So I want to do better. So, I mean, obviously the opening range trade down low was a better, you know, I ended up picking 2,800. So at the end of the day, so 1,800 more. So, any rate, there you go. Wasn't a bad day. It was a good day. Like I said, my TCS ended up with 10 points, so that's not too bad. Not great, but not too bad. The left-hand side has my little economic events indicator, and that shows the economic events as well as headline news from Financial Juice. So, okay, so I'm getting down to the end of the video, so thanks for watching. If you want to watch, I'm trading pretty much every morning, and we'll see you then. Thanks.